All right, boom. The number one mistake that I see med spa owners making in 2025, 2026, or actually just making at all, is not focusing enough on their sales and marketing, right? The average med spa owner might still be in treatments themselves and allocate a lot of their time to just doing the treatments. Now, that's fine when you're just starting out because, it's going to bring in the revenue. But, once you have, 2 to 3 clients a day that you're seeing, a lot of people, they just sit around, they start scrolling when they should really be working. The majority of your focus until you hit like 7 figures, 8 figures is sales and marketing. Now, this is a lesson that has taken me a long time to learn, but it's so important because unless you can make someone come in again, unless you can actually bring a consistent number of people in, unless you can make these people worth more, you really don't have a business. You need a consistent, predictable, and reliable stream and method to bring people in, and that is sales and marketing, right? So it goes to the extent to which if someone is coming in for their first time, the majority of the time during their first appointment should be dedicated towards consultation because that is a good patient journey. You understand why they're there, what concerns that they have, and that allows you to serve them at the highest level. Sure, they might have booked in for a microneedling session, but it might not be necessary that depending on what concern they have, that microneedling is actually the best treatment solution for them. So instead, dedicate a lot of time when someone comes in for the first time to do a proper consultation and do a proper sales process. So do proper discovery. What pain do they have? See what they've tried in the past. Explain to them why their skin is the way that their skin is and why their concerns appear like they appear. Ask them for permission to give them a treatment plan and then actually give it to them. It's very basic, and doing something as simple as just asking for the pitch, it will make a dramatic impact on the business because all of a sudden you know where the people are coming from because you're focused on marketing and you know that they're going to be worth more. So therefore you can reinvest in marketing and so your business can actually grow. Now, I've got this concept from a book called $100 Million in No Time Flat, Ready, Fire, Aim by Michael Matheson. And the essential concept is your service should be good enough to the point where people are not unhappy, right? They should be happy with it and you should be getting referrals, but you should know the type of business that you're in. Because in the service-based business that, we're all in, the actual game is sales and marketing. Whereas if you were in a SaaS or software business, the actual game is product development. How can I make my product the best in the market? Because one person will refer like 10 people, and that's how you really grow in a software company. But in a service-based company, we need to focus on sales and marketing, and don't get it twisted. If you run an ad, you can always run more ads. Some people think that they've run too many ads and it's become saturated. No, at the end of the day, practically no one knows who you are. And so it's your imperative on a daily basis to generate consults, do consults, and sell these patients. And that's the only way that the business is going to grow. Otherwise, if you take the alternative view, fine, you're going to do a couple treatments and you're just going to, scroll in between the treatments and then you're not going to do much else. Or you'll be too bogged down in treatments to focus on anything else. If it was me, I would rather do fewer treatments throughout the day, focus on how can I get a reliable, scalable, predictable acquisition system so it will support me in the next couple of years, not just today's revenue. Remember, today's revenue comes from last year's work, and today's work leads to next year's revenue. So that is the number one mistake that I see skin clinics and med spas making, which is not focusing enough on sales and marketing.